Well, we have the green bars, live counter ticking up, which means we should now be live. So welcome back, everybody, to the Storytime Network. Stream description is still the same as last time.
I pressed done. Why didn't it change?
Somehow, Fuzzy returned a second time.
Have you guys considered just doing random, like,
I-
not, I was going to say appropriate, but like, non-relevant tags for the stream?
Can you guys hear Kaido? Because I can't.
I can hear him. He's just very quiet. You have to turn up the volume on him.
Okay, I've already got him maxed out, but I will see what I can do.
Yeah, like, you know, I don't know, like bald might be funny. Polyamory.
That could
It's
work.
like, just random ones that, again, do not have any relevance to the stream.
Don't need those two. That will
I
help
have no
a
idea
little
what
bit.
happened because it seems like the game changed. I'm pretty sure the notification message changed, but the title didn't.
That is very strange. Let me know if you want me to turn up the volume on the game. But, yeah.
That's fine.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah.
We've been live.
Oh wow. Okay,
It's been live for like the last minute.
Okay, well,
Said this, were you not, did you just like fade out or something?
look, there was silence and I was confused.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I mean, there's only so much I can do to fill in the dead air.
Yeah, no,
have
I
my,
usually do that, but I've already streamed today, so it's like I'm recalibrating.
I mean,
Fuzzy.exe is rebooting.
I already had my mandated fill dead air in stream.
Ow.
With being a DM 2 days ago.
Ah, yes, of course.
Ow.
I'm
Ow.
actually working on the campaign right now that I forgot to do earlier. I'm doing enemy character sheets.
Lovely.
That's definitely not going to be ominous foreshadowing at all.
I mean, it
That
depends
didn't
on
last
if
long.
the party encounter them.
I take 2 masks of damage every time I get hit. Of course it's not going to last long. Not until I can get back into the rhythm of dodging these attacks.
There's a sex joke there somewhere.
Probably.
Lasting, rhythm. You see the vision.
Something, someone more eloquent than you or I would probably be able to make a joke out of it, but I cannot. Ow.
We'll get there one day.
Ow.
Assuming we live that long. This is definitely not ominous foreshadowing or setting flags or anything.
Let's hope we last the night.
I played and beat Star Fox from the Nintendo Switch earlier today, so I'll have something else. I'll have my own contribution for games of 2026.
Nice.
Cool.
Like the new one, or like is it a?
Yeah. I mean, it's a remake of Star Fox 64, so
Man, even running into him does 2 massive damage. That's crazy.
I'm trying to think if I'm actually going to have a game that I played from 2026 by December.
I don't think I'm going to have a new game on my docket at the very least. It's probably going to be some, maybe some games from my backlog. But that's about
The
it.
Hades 2 count?
Hades 2 is from
No, that
last
was
year.
2025, yeah.
I mean, it's not like we're always having to talk about games that released in 2026. It's just games that we've happened to play doing.
I know, but I'm just like, usually there's at least one game on my docket from the year. But I'm just trying to think. I
Ow.
don't think I have, because
I mean,
I can't afford to buy a full price new game right now.
I've got Pragmata, which I'm about 50% of the way through, according to the PlayStation 5's progression thing that it has. I've got 007 First Light that I've been playing. I beat Mega Man Star Force 1, because the collection of that came out this year. Pocopia as well. So I've actually been playing a few games that have come out within this year, which I'm pretty happy about.
I actually had a question about Pragmata.
What about
From what I've seen of like the gameplay from the demos and stuff, there's the whole aspect of puzzle during combat, right? How overwhelming does that get?
I mean, I can handle that pretty easily. I think the thing is, you get a gun very early on that staggers most enemies. And you have like a dodge that you can use while you're doing the hacking / shooting bits. So it's not as if you're defenseless during it. I don't think it's bad, but I wouldn't be surprised if some people who are more easily bothered by things might struggle. Especially because you only unlock a auto hack function later in the game, and it does actually use a resource. So it's not like, you know, in my opinion, by the time you would get access to the auto hack ability, you've probably got used to the game's combat.
Yeah, that's generally how these things go.
I don't know what it's like if you were to play mouse and keyboard. Maybe that would actually make it easier, perhaps. But I have no clue, so I genuinely couldn't tell you.
Well, I was more asking from like the sensory overload perspective, but it seems like it's...
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't. It doesn't.
Yeah.
affect
Okay.
me at
No.
all.
No. I just figured I'd ask just in case.
I mean, this isn't even me trying to brag. I'm pretty. I don't want to say goated like that, but usually that's the only time stuff like that bothers me is when it's rhythm games, because I feel stressed when I play rhythm games.
Just to check, Jack, how many deaths is that so far?
I think that's like 10.
Have you been drinking every time you died?
No, I would get
He'd be
liver
dead in
poisoning
real
very
life if he
quickly.
did that.
But, yeah.
Definitely not asking for any particular reason that may involve me keeping a tally.
Well, you can keep track better than I can, because I'm busy. I'm trying to just focus on this.
He's stroking his shit once every day. It's like the worst edging ever.
That'd be a horrendous way to get off.
But yeah, I really enjoyed Pragmata though. I mean, the second major boss was actually quite awkward, but that's more so because I was still getting used to the gun that it kind of primarily wanted me to make use of in the fight. But even then, like, second try I actually did it. And I actually beat the third boss on the third try.
Okay, I'm gonna go change my loadout real quick and see if that does anything. Fortunately, I'm not punished for dying repeatedly against this boss, and I can change my loadout pretty easily.
But yeah, I'll be honest, I'd recommend just trying the demo, because the demo gives you a good enough feel of the game that you'll know how the combat will feel.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well.
Because
It's nice that it's got a demo, because too few games do that now.
Yeah. But I also got the game relatively cheap compared to other retailers. Because there's a place I ordered it from, the toy shop Smiths.
Oh.
They often do video games, like new video games, cheaper than a lot of other places, even cheaper than Amazon, even if only by a couple of pounds.
I didn't realize they did video games.
Smiths is goated. I'm not joking when I say I think I bought Final Fantasy 16 when it had come out on the Wii, which would have been what, like 2 or 3 years ago. I think everywhere it was like 60 quid at minimum, and I think it was like low 50s at Smiths.
Wow, I'll have to check them out.
I also bought 2 copies of Pocopia from it. I think it was from there, and it was also the cheapest they were selling. It was being sold at, because I bought 3 games from Smiths. I bought the Switch Kirby game with its DLC, the Switch 2 version of it. I bought 007 and I bought Pragmata, all under like 150 quid.
That's good.
Wow.
Bearing in mind, 2 of those games came out this year, and one of them is a Switch game, which is, you know, Nintendo games are notoriously bad for often being lower cost. So, yeah, I'd wholeheartedly recommend Smiths if you have access to one.
See, this is where what I like. Steam is definitely a great service, but the fact that PC no longer does physical releases is one of the downsides. You can't get like you can't sneakily get PC releases like that anymore.
When I got this PC, I actively felt like I would never need a disk drive anyway. I still feel like I don't, but I even think even if I had a disk drive, I think it wouldn't affect my PC gaming at all. But I do agree that I think, to be fair though, I think the PC is one of them though, because you're always using the internet. And ideally you shouldn't need to have to use the internet to play physical games.
Nope, absolutely not.
Yeah, on console anyway, I should say.
Mhm.
But, I mean, it's the whole thing with PC anyway, and that arguably, like, downloading the game, you know, obviously it makes sense why you would have to have an internet connection, but actually playing them is a different story as well. Like, I actually play Monster Hunter a lot of the time offline on PC, because it's the only time you can actually physically pause the game. Because sometimes I just like pausing the game mid-combat because, you know, maybe dinner's ready, maybe I need to do something.
No, like the always online games are probably one of the worst aspects of modern video gaming in general.
Yeah.
Like, and the inability to pause even single-player games just drives me up the wall sometimes.
Okay, any single-player game that cannot be paused is just a failure as a game, in my opinion.
So I will say,
Unless it's like cutscene specific. So
I was going to say Souls games don't let you pause.
Yes, I hate that.
However, the only time you're ever in danger in a Souls game is if you are for some reason in an area where enemies will just wander in, or if you're playing it online and therefore you might get invaded.
Counterpoint. Sometimes your dog will want to go to the bathroom in the middle of a boss fight, and it would be nice to have the ability to pause in those situations.
I mean, I'll be honest. I've had times where I've paused, and then I've still been thrown off because I'm having to like get back.
That is a fair point, yeah.
Damn.
So at that point, like, I'm probably going to die, or I'm having to like pick up the momentum back to the point where it doesn't really help. But I do agree though. I do think a lot of games should include pausing. I mean, most games do. You know, it's not common that it isn't really a thing. And I feel like a lot of games that don't allow pausing, again, it's usually like Souls games or whatever.
Like, I could pause this game whenever I want. See? Not that hard.
The only game where I'm willing to accept not being able to pause, and it's only for a particular section, is Hades 2. And it's in the boss fight with Kronos.
Which
And
just
even
kind of
then-
makes sense, you know?
Yeah. And even then, you can like get an upgrade so that you can pause. Though he will still probably make a comment about it.
But
But that's
Yeah.
just something I think is a you know, a nice gameplay based touch.
like I'm looking at the list of games that I have, at least just on Steam, and like every single, apart from the Souls, well, Elden Ring I should say, because I don't actually own the rest of the FromSoft games, but Elden Ring is the only one I can't pause. Oh, I guess Lethal Company, but Lethal Company is like its own thing, because again, that's a multiplayer game, so...
Yeah, the equation's a bit different when it's multiplayer. Yeah, this is where the glory of mods comes in. I'm pretty sure people have worked out an Elden Ring pause mod as well.
Yeah,
I would not be shocked.
I mean, heck, there's an actual proper co-op mod for Elden Ring.
Yeah, that's just insane.
Speaking of actually stuff like Elden Ring, I really want to get in on playing the new FromSoft game on Switch whenever that comes out. Check.
I was also there's one other thing that I actually had a thought of because of course I'm very disappointed in myself for not being able to take it in this direction last time we streamed, so I will take it in this direction now. Are y'all aware that someone has been systematically turning every single enemy and I think also NPC in the original Dark Souls into a naked woman?
That's
I
insane.
mean, that
No, but
feels
I'm
like
not
a
surprised.
I mean, I remember there was a whole thing with Fallout 4 where someone was turning them all into anime characters.
But like what's most fascinating about this is that the person doing it seems to actually be trying to maintain a consistent art style as well.
That's
Like
that's almost
like-
impressive, honestly.
the art is consistent with the alterations. Like the giants are still giants, the like hollows are still vaguely hollow, but it's just that they're naked women now.
I mean, you're only doing art with one hand.
I mean, that
Usually.
just makes it more impressive.
I always forget I did actually buy all of Binding of Isaac, and then I just could not get into it.
It's really the
The art
control
style
scheme is not.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've got a friend who really enjoys playing. I've played it a couple of times over at his place, and yeah, it's an interesting game, but it's one that I don't think I could really get into.
I think my
Same.
issue is that like I feel like a lot of the options that I've not options. I feel like a lot of the power-ups I've had feel very samey. Like all of I don't know if maybe you just get more access to more abilities as you do like you actually get to the
Speaking of, I will be right back.
But a lot of the playthroughs felt very samey. But there were some times where some of the abilities just felt like actual trap options.
Yeah, no, there are definitely options like that.
And I mean, I beat the boss. I beat the final boss of like the base game. But then I was like, you know what? I was having to like come off it very early some days. Like I would play it, I'd already die. Like I'd already failed 2 runs, and I'm like, I for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Ow, that's bullshit. Oh, hell yeah.
I forgot.
Phase 2?
Phase 2, and I have no fucking soul to recharge. Oh, there it is. First time getting to Phase 2, that's nice.
Nice work. I always forget I have Disco Elysium on my PC, and I do want to. I keep seeing people talking about it again, and I kind of want to play it.
Same, but at the same time, like, it's so easy to put it off because it's a big game that does a lot of stuff.
I mean, I don't mind that. Like I've not really got much I'm playing on my PC right now, so I need a game. Cause it's either something like that or because I was playing the Game Boy version of Chain of Memories, Kingdom Hearts, I mean, and I ended up bricking my playthrough because I used a cheat code that fucked the leveling. I basically ruined it so that like I maxed out a stat that you would gain through level ups.
Mm-hmm.
So when the game had no more level ups to give me, because that stat in particular that I'd maxed out couldn't be leveled.
Couldn't go up anymore.
Yeah, the game would just freeze.
Wow.
Damn.
It's a shame because I actually got really far into the playthrough.
Yeah.
And I was looking at save states I could find on to download, but none of them were for what I'm playing it on. So I'm either gonna have to redo the playthrough, which wouldn't be too hard. It would just be a bit frustrating to get through. Or I just look up the rest of the playthrough on YouTube. Because I'm already looking at putting myself through Kingdom Hearts Days, the actual DS release.
Yeah.
So that's already going to be a bit. I've been trying to play it already, and it feels really awful to play on keyboard. It's like I might, maybe I'll be better off with the controller, but like I already know that game's going to be a bit of a slog.
Yeah.
Because that has like multiple boss fights that aren't fun to deal with.
Ow. There it is.
I'm trying to remember where I got to in my last attempt at a Kingdom Hearts playthrough, and I think it was Agrabah in Kingdom Hearts 1.
I have never played Kingdom Hearts, so...
See, I want to play for all of the series again, which is why I played 1. And you know, I actually really enjoyed playing 1 for the most part. And you know, so I don't just want to jump into Kingdom Hearts 2 because I actually want to play the games in the order. I'm still debating if I want to actually play Kingdom Hearts Coded. Because that game is... I remember really hating it. Like, I actually spent more time frustrated playing it than I did actually enjoying it. And I feel like I'm one of the few people who really doesn't like the gameplay of Dream Drop Distance.
What is the gameplay? Because obviously I know...
I mean, it's just your average modern Kingdom Hearts fare. Like, you know, you have especially the portable ones where you have like the commands deck, so you can like pick your moves, you can, you know, if you just want to use all of the OP magic, you can. you've got the flow motion, so you can like bounce off the walls and like rail grind and swing on like lampposts, and that is cool. But I just
It's
remember
totally
feeling,
tubular.
Totally, dude.
I just remember feeling like though the actual story were just really bad. And I felt like the gameplay wasn't good enough to justify the story feeling very mediocre.
Yeah.
It kind of, I feel like it's a problem with a lot of the late Kingdom Hearts games, is that the vast majority of the worlds are filler, unless it's Kingdom Hearts exclusive worlds. And I think that's something that every game after Kingdom Hearts 1 actually did not get the point of. I think Chain of Memories is less bad of it, because it ties into the whole themes of memories, and Sora losing his memories as he gets deeper into the castle. But I feel like every game after that, it's like, at most, maybe you get a cutscene where the evil guys are like, we're doing our evil plan now. Here's the brief, like, window into the villains talking at each other before, and that's kind of it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the problem with Dream Drop Distance as well, is that, like, that happens. And it's even worse with Kingdom Hearts Coded, because most of that game is filler, I'll be honest. And like how to describe it? I remember not being very fond of Kingdom Hearts 3 because that also had the problem of like, how to describe it?
Being a faux finale to the series.
For me, it's the problem is that I feel like a good chunk of the game did not need to happen the way it did. And I'll be honest, because I know a lot of people who feel like you're not allowed to criticize Kingdom Hearts 3 if you don't take into account the DLC that the game added. But it I've never played the final mixed version of Kingdom Hearts 2, and I never played the final mixed version of Kingdom Hearts 1 until like this playthrough I did of it. And I feel like both of those games are very complete games without the extra content that's been added.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Kingdom Hearts 3 should have to be including when I feel like the DLC was only made in response to the negative backlash the base game had. Because like I believe the base game of Kingdom Hearts 3 only has like one optional super boss. And it's not like you should have to have like optional bosses be a measure of a game being complete or not. But I feel like the boss that it did have was not good enough to justify it. And like I'm willing to believe that the DLC of Kingdom Hearts 3, which I've not played, but I'm willing to believe it does fix a lot of the problems the game does have. But to my knowledge, the problems it fixes is more so located in the finale of the game. And how would I describe it? I don't think it fixes the rest of the problems with the game. I think the problem is with 3 is more deeply rooted than just, oh, the finale wasn't very great for some people. But that's just my take on it.
I mean, I unfortunately don't have a take because I've not played 3 and I've managed to stay spoiler free somehow.
Yeah, Gen is your probably your man on for
I
discussing
know.
this.
I mean, I still firmly believe that Kingdom Hearts 1, on its own, especially with the like, I think Kingdom Hearts 1 is a very playable game. I think it's really fun. The only reason I played it on the hard mode is because I just wanted to be able to say that I unlocked the secret ending of the game, just to say
Yeah.
that I've done it. But if you were to play like Kingdom Hearts 1, just normal difficulty, I feel like you would have a fun time doing it. I think the combat's not aged well. I think a lot of people will agree with that. But I think as an actual gaming experience, Kingdom Hearts 1 is actually very special. Like, I think it's one of the things I love about it is the fact that the worlds actually feel very fun to explore. Like, the worlds, the level design feels genuinely interesting. And I even think Kingdom Hearts 1 has a uniquely creepy and unsettling atmosphere that none of the other games managed to come close to. And I think even things like the how do I describe it now? Like, even the way the mechanics work in the combat feels really interesting in one, because you actually gain experience points for parrying enemies.
Yeah.
And it's a genuinely interesting. It can be a really interesting way to like farm experience.
Damn it! Oh, I got into the second phase again.
You did really good though.
Thank you.
But yeah, like there's really interesting stuff with like how with the moveset Sora has. There's a lot of really, in my opinion, really interesting ways to actually tackle enemies. And I'm also not a big fan of how later games design bosses in Kingdom Hearts, because they use a lot of the bosses are built around reacting to you being very aggressive a lot of the time. Like, if you do a combo, a lot of the time the enemies will reprise with a attack. And it's either that, or the bosses will randomly pick a move to do, but in a way where, like, the boss could choose to do a really frustrating move repeatedly.
Yeah.
Rather than cycling through attacks in a way that feels more interesting to me. Like,
It doesn't necessarily have a rhythm. It just picks out a move at random sort of thing.
Yeah, there's ways to force a rhythm. Because, like, one of the hardest bosses in Kingdom Hearts 2, you can cheese it with a specific way to play the game, like a build, I should say, where you basically just spam one attack in the air over and over, and because the attack is effectively your finisher as well, not only are you dealing a good amount of damage, but you can basically stun lock this very, very difficult boss to beat it.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm not saying that a cheese strategy is a bad thing. I think it's good that cheese strategies exist because it can be fun. My problem is that like, I feel like a lot of the time when I've seen people try and do these optional bosses, trying to fight them honestly feels like a very unfun experience.
I hate the dash attacks. They are so aggravating.
It does look very unfun.
Yeah, because there's two different opportunities, no, three on each of them to do damage on me. Which just makes them ridiculously, just way too annoyingly overpowered for the boss to have.
But yeah, like in Birth by Sleep, for example, there's a optional boss in that game where if you try to fight that boss using like attacks you would have if you're trying to just have fun in a standard playthrough, you're basically making it infinitely more difficult.
Yeah.
Like, you're actually pretty much... The only way to make the fight really even bearable, slightly, is to use the overpowered moves that have iframes throughout the attack, have a good enough range where they can clip the enemy, and these attacks themselves do good enough damage to the boss. And this is a boss where, like, I think when you get to the second phase, he has what is effectively an instant kill move.
Ooh.
You have to mash a button to get out of it, but every subsequent attempt the boss does makes the timer go down for this move lesser and lesser.
Yeah.
So it basically is a guaranteed instant killer when it's the third time it might hit you. But
So
again,
that
because
at
the
that
boss
point, it's effectively a race against time.
Yeah, because you basically have to hope the boss doesn't randomly choose to do that move right after
Yeah.
doing it to you already. And the attack anyway can be really annoying to dodge, because the boss will be throwing other shit at you. Terror, one of the characters you play in it, his dodge is basically the worst dodge in the game. Because unlike Aqua and Ventus, you have a pause period in between his dodge. So you can't actually just spam the dodge button until you get a safe entry. You basically are doing it to hope that in between the period you have where you have like a recovery period, it's brief, but it's still there. You're kind of having to hope that he doesn't just clip you with an attack, and then you're basically drops down to 1 HP.
God damn.
And it's like, the thing is, as well, at least for that particular boss in Birth by Sleep, it's basically bragging rights if you beat it, because there's basically nothing else in the game that the Keyblade you get from beating him is really that rewarding to use on. Like, if you can beat that secret boss, I think you have to beat the game with one of the 3 playable characters so you can fight that boss anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like... It is just there for the challenge.
But at the same time, if you're having to resort to, you know,
that boss you basically just have to cheese, like actually cheese the boss.
if you're resorting to pre-made cheese strategies, then you know it doesn't feel as satisfying as if you're just beating them normally.
Because for the most part, you're basically going into that fight knowing that you could just lose because the RNG is actually not kind to you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, in a video game, a boss could choose to do a move, and it might be the move that you hate to deal with, and it might do it again. You know, like, you know, there is some randomness anyway. But the ones in Kingdom Hearts can be in such a way where, like, at least, again, this one particular boss could just choose to do its instant kill move twice.
I'm just going to step away for a second because my hands are a bit too sweaty right now.
And then it's just like, well, what could I have even done, you know?
Yeah.
And to be fair, the optional bosses in Kingdom Hearts aren't even, like, necessary for the secret endings. Like, again, you're only really doing it for the love of the game. You know, you're doing it because you want to see what the bosses are like and have that challenge.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that a secret boss should be easy. It's just...
Again, there should be ways to beat them without having to cheese.
Yeah,
There
'cause to
absolutely
me,
should.
like, I feel like you should be allowed to engage with what the game is actually giving you to play with,
Yeah.
to be allowed to win. I'm not saying you should be doing all of the stupidly, like, impractical attacks, but, like, to me, a lot of the more fun and cooler moves that you would have access to are just not available if you were
Yeah.
actually, like, you know, I feel like you should be allowed to enjoy using most of what the game has to offer. And I don't feel like some parts of Kingdom Hearts games later on actually let you get to do that.
Yeah.
Which is again kind of why I like the it's why I like the console versions, because the console ones just have Sora's moveset. And I feel like there are definitely things that are better to use on certain bosses than others.
Yeah.
Which I think that's fine. I think it's fine that some bosses are more weaker to certain attacks or ways to play the game than others. But I think again a problem with, because you can customize your moveset in the portable entries, I feel like they don't, in a way, because the moveset is completely optional to what to how you can customize. They can't particularly balance a lot of the fights around every option, which again, I don't necessarily blame them. But I feel like I mean, I'm not a game designer, I won't pretend to be, but I feel like there should maybe be ways to, like, again, not have to want to choose a fight to make it bearable to beat.
Yeah.
Like, imagine having to beat Hades 1 would only be able to use Athena's dash. You know, obviously Athena's dash is the best dash in Hades 1, but the game is also very beatable without it.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm also knowing that when I'm doing these playthroughs of the Kingdom Hearts games, I'm also probably not even going to try a lot of those bosses, because I don't need to. And
What more do you have to prove to yourself after you've already beaten them the once?
I mean, I'm going to be playing them on the hard mode anyway. So, I mean, I'm not doing it on the hardest mode, which is critical mode, because
Ultra hard mode is for crazy people.
to be fair, the critical mode in the Kingdom Hearts games actually has specific properties that makes the game technically easier if you know what you're doing. Like, at the start of the game, you actually get more points to allocate abilities into, so you can actually have more abilities to equip, which can actually be a really big difference. And if you're doing the XP0 ability, which means you're effectively playing a level 1 run of Kingdom Hearts, if you're doing that on critical mode anyway, the enemies are hitting you so hard and so fast that it's basically, like, barely any different.
Yeah.
Like, if you fuck up anyway, you're going to die regardless. And I believe if you do the XP0 ability, I think your finishes actually gain a noticeable damage increase. So a lot of the time you can actually beat the fights easier. You still have to be really good at the game, but at that point you're probably doing that anyway because you're really good at the game. So
Yeah.
I fucking hate this.
it doesn't look fun.
No, this is this is effectively a bonus boss fight to just complete one of the charms, but it's a very useful charm to complete, and I usually use a minion-based build, which would require this charm to be fully maxed out for the final boss. So I'd rather get this shit done, you know? Like, there is another option that I can do a lot easier than this, but that other option is also just, like, results in a much weaker charm, and I use this charm enough that I find it's just more worthwhile to actually beat this boss. And I have beaten him before, he's just extremely difficult.
I feel like there was a game I played recently where I had to completely respec my character just to beat this boss. How's that count? Oh, it was Digimon. Because I was playing Digimon Time Stranger last year when it came out. And I basically had to spend like hours grinding to be able to beat the boss that I was stuck on. And I was basically like stuck in the area I was in until I beat the boss. So it wasn't like I could potentially grind in a different spot of the game or even like just do other things.
Yeah.
But Time Strange is such a weird game because, like, technically you can beat the game on at least the normal difficulty with pretty much any Digimon. It was just that the particular boss I was stuck on was, like, obscenely difficult for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, it was, like, probably one of the worst difficulty spikes I've ever encountered in a game, ever. Because I believe the boss, like, locks your ability out of being able to use items.
I just healed that, you motherfucker! Oh, goody.
Oh, phase 2. Not quite sure how you avoided being hit there.
Luck. Which just ran out. Okay, this fucker jukes me too many times on that attack sequence. I hate it, but...
That makes 18 since I've started counting.
I think the frequency has gone down a little bit since I'm going back to recharge my soul before going back to fight him. Because having the soul to heal is very important.
Oh yeah, that was it. So yeah, this boss that I was thinking of, yeah, the item menu is completely disabled for it.
That's bullshit.
Okay.
So if you don't have Digimon on you that have recovery skills,
You're fucked.
basically, yeah. To be fair, I don't think it's wrong to necessarily have to have Digimon that can heal or support, but I feel like I remember the boss fight having like debuffs that were really awful to cleanse.
Yeah.
Unless you had items going into it. So what happened was I basically went into the boss fight having gotten 2 specific Digimon that were just completely OP, just for that fight alone.
Yeah.
And that boss is basically before the actual end game of the game. And now remembering, yeah. And that was after an already awful boss fight, where this one I'm saying, you, if you heal, you actually suffer unrecoverable max hit point loss during the
That's some bullshit.
Wow. Okay.
You have no warning of this. And if you heal, you basically start to suffer the effects of this. Not only that, well, this is the only time in the game that this occurs, but he will cast a healing spell on your team to force the HP reduction.
Wow.
That's some horseshit.
The only way you can
Ow.
counter that is by hitting him with the confuse effect. So unless you knew before the fight, you would have to restart the entire fight, basically equipping all three of your Digimon with the confuse effect, which isn't a guarantee to hit, because then when the boss is confused, it will... To be fair, you can exploit the AI, because when you confuse it, it will try to heal itself. So, you know, you can cheese the fight that way. And to be fair, you have a guest character who can sometimes also cast the confuse effect on the boss. But
Hell yeah.
on top, the problem
Phase
with
2,
Time
motherfucker.
Stranger. Nice work. The only other problems with Time Stranger is it has a break mechanic, where the boss will basically charge up a super strong attack, and you have to break parts of its body to interrupt the charge. And this boss in particular is the only boss at this point in the game where you have to break 4 targets at once.
Right.
In a game where you don't know the weaknesses of your enemies until you hit them with the weaknesses.
Yeah.
Oh, like
Unless you
Persona.
Google- yeah, you would have to Google otherwise the weaknesses. And even then, you might not end up doing enough damage to break it. So, you know, you might end up getting to a point where you're fucked because the boss might have killed one of your Digimon because you didn't, you know, break the target.
Yeah.
Damn it! Oh, I was doing well this time. Fuck.
Yeah.
It's really weird because, like, the actual main game of Time Strange is piss easy, in my opinion. Like, the
And then
actual
there's just this.
The bosses, some of the bosses are just awful. Like, I
Yeah.
actually wiped multiple times to the first boss in Time Stranger because the actual Digimon that I brought into the fight were actually not helpful.
I will say, Jack, it has been less than an hour.
I know. Crazy, right?
You sure you want to keep just banging your head on this wall?
Look, I got closer last time than I have any previous time. Do you think it's not working?
That's the trap they set for you.
I can do
What
this!
they say, though.
I believe in me!
99% of gamblers quit right before they're about to hit big.
Exactly, Kaido understands.
But yeah, it's really funny with Time Stranger. In my opinion, the bosses are either really easy or they're really obnoxious.
Yeah.
Because like,
Okay,
so there's one.
Here's a different question. Sorry, I know you're on your whole
It's all
spiel.
good.
What do you think is the most fair difficult boss you've fought against, and the most unfair difficult boss
Ever or in Time Stranger?
ever?
I mean, I think I've played far too many games to really think what to think of that. I think I could think of more unfair bosses.
Oh, I figured as much.
I know in the game Daemon Ex Machina, which is like a mech game, you basically have to get to a point where you have to pick up these like effectively barrels, because the only way to damage the boss is to toss these barrels at the boss. And this is the boss that isn't just going to let you stand there and pick up the barrels to hit them with. So more often than not, I was having to take loads of damage to pick up a barrel and toss the barrel at the enemy, to sometimes just fucking miss. But that wasn't even really like... That was just more annoying. Like, I beat the boss in the end.
See, I think I'm starting to get the rhythm of it down.
I think a lot of the really bad bosses I've hated have been from Souls games. Because a lot of the time it'll be final bosses where the camera's just fucking awful to deal with.
I mean, yeah, if I had to guess off the top of my head, I mean, it is either like a really old game, like PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 era, or it is like a Souls-like.
Souls-likes kind of market themselves on being ludicrously hard, though.
I'll be honest, I think a lot of the FromSoft Souls games are actually not that difficult, in a way. Like, obviously they're meant to be challenging, but I feel like a lot of the time they're actually achievable. Like, there've been a few times where I've been walled by a boss.
No, I know the answer. Fucking Maria in the Neo DLC. That fight has basically made me put the game down for good.
Really?
Because I am at what the game considers an appropriate level to fight her. But she is such bullshit, and the fandom knows she's such bullshit. It's either a case of you have to, like with Kingdom Hearts, you have to have a certain cheese strategy with her, which I'm not set up to do.
Phase 3, motherfuckers!
Oh god, there's a phase 3.
Yeah. This is the last one.
But yeah, you either need to, basically cheese it, or you need to do, like, a level of grinding that just stops the game from being fun.
Ah, so an abhorrent level of grinding.
Anyway, yeah. Because by that point, you're basically onto, like, the end game DLC gear, but to upgrade that gear, you have to basically go through the entire base game again on hard mode. And that's just to get a chance of upgrading it.
Fuck! Ugh! Best
And that's
run
plenty.
yet. Hey, best run yet. Best run yet.
I was actually quiet the whole time because I wanted to just watch you lock in.
I was locked in and I almost had it. I got a bit too aggressive, I think, in the third phase, and that's what got me.
Yeah, you can get greedy when you like feel like you're about to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have just stuck with the
It can't be too much longer. It can't be too much longer. It can't be too. And I've died.
Yeah. I didn't start really taking much damage until the third phase because I got too aggressive. But yeah, I just need to play a bit more defensive. And,
To be fair, it wasn't the boss weren't giving you many opportunities.
True. It's a very tightrope style boss, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There are a lot of bosses in Hollow Knight and most roguelikes that are like that, honestly.
I know a friend of mine actually, Mill, who only really played the game with, I think it's the Kusari Gamma, because it's so
Yeah. Kusari Gamma is really good, and that's one of my main weapons. Because against human enemies, you can chuck the weight out and basically like drag them close to you and throw them off balance. Gives you an opportunity to do some real damage.
If you at least have some affection for the Neo games, you might like Rise of Ronin, because that was also made by that company.
Yeah.
That isn't a Souls-like, but the only problem I have with that is that the game kind of pretends like it has a lot of like variance with its weapons. Because you unlock fighting styles, and you can develop the fighting styles for weapons you unlock.
Yeah.
Then there's actually, the game has like a rock paper scissors like thing with its fighting styles.
Right.
However, you basically have no reason to only use anything other than the katana, because every other weapon has objectively less fighting styles than the katana.
Yeah.
But because it was made by the team that did Neo and Ninja Gaiden, there are references to both of those games. So you actually fight a optional boss that is based loosely on the main character of the first Neo.
Oh, okay.
And you actually unlock a Neo-inspired fighting style, which are based
Neat.
on holding the weapons in different, like,
Stances.
high, low to the sides.
Yeah.
Which is really cool, and it's actually one
Yeah.
of the best fighting styles in the game, which is funny.
Well, I might get to it eventually. Right now, I just recently bought Neo 2, so I want to give that a go. Though
I will say,
sort
with Rise of Ronin, I heard a lot of people say the PC port was really badly optimized. However, I
Right.
had no problems with its PC port.
Okay.
So,
It's one of those, because I heard those rumors about. I'm trying to think which one it was.
I mean, Monster Hunter had that problem, the new one, and I had no problems with that.
Was it Near Automata?
Yes, yeah. I had a lot
Yeah.
of people say the PC port was really bad for that,
And I played it fine. I didn't see any issues with that.
but watch you play a game though, where no one talks about how badly optimized it is. Everyone says it's amazingly optimized, and you're the one motherfucker
Who has an
whose
issue with
PC
it? Yeah.
struggles with it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I did really enjoy Rise of Ronin. I would recommend it because it's.
Well,
'cause
I'll add it
it's
to my
an
wish
open-
list if nothing else.
It's an open world game based in like Japan during the Shogunate era, just before the Shogunates dissolved. And it takes some
Akamatsu, I think.
It takes some interesting liberties with the characters.
Okay.
Because like Ryo Sakamoto is this like handsome man with long hair and a head and like a chest that prominently displays the hair on it.
Yeah.
And you can
The
romance
the
it.
Varric.
You can actually have same-sex romances in it.
Ooh.
Oh, cool.
But the game barely like focuses on the romance aspect.
Look, I'm a weeb and I love history, and so I'm always looking
really-
for these games.
It's really weird though, because there's an entire character who completely should not exist during the part of the game when it happens.
Okay.
Matthew Perry.
Right.
Huh.
Basically, during the time where the game is set in, there's a big chunk of the game, like, basically when you meet him, is I believe when he, like, during the part of the history where he would have actually been in Japan, but
Yeah.
after that initial debut, you should not be seeing him in the game. It's not a big deal because he stops being relevant at that point, but it's like a small weird bit of anachronism. But for the most part, everything else is kind of pretty accurate. Although I know some people who, how would I describe it? Because the game goes into like the nationalism, like, you know, because of the anti-shogunate stuff.
Yeah.
I was a pro-shogunate player because
Nope, didn't get
like
far enough from that. Okay.
The anti-shogunate faction are very much, this is a very bloody revolution and we do not care who gets brought into it. But to be fair, they're also not wrong for being anti-shogunate because the common people are suffering. Like, you know, it's because you can choose which side you want to ally with.
Yeah.
And you know, there is like an actual divergence in the missions. And to be fair, if you, you know, for example, if you are pro-shogunate, you can't. I believe you can't romance the anti-shogunate characters and vice versa.
Okay.
But again, the romance is like so minimal that it doesn't really matter. And you technically end up helping both sides anyway a lot of the time.
Of course, the middle road option of everything.
It's a lot of it is because the events of history have to occur, and you're basically like the unsung helper of that. So, you know, regardless if you were, say, an anti-shogunate person, you would still have to help history occur in such a way where things that help the shogunate happen. Like, you can't... It's kind of unfortunate, but you can't really go full alt history.
Yeah.
There's like 2 moments where you can really do alt history. But I think, like, I really enjoyed the game. I think, like, I know a lot of people who compare it to Ghost of Tsushima, in that it is another game where, like, you have stances, you're a samurai that's during a, you know, a pretty well-known part of Japanese history. You know, the game has very beautiful locations, it's an open world game, but, like, whereas I feel like Ghost of Tsushima is I guess you could say it more like a piece of art in how beautiful the game is, and like the themes and aesthetics of it. Rise of Ronin is very much a video game first, which I don't mind because I like Ghost of Tsushima and I like Rise of Ronin. But like I would recommend Rise of Ronin if you like enjoyed Neo on some level. Again, just because the studios like made both games.
Hell yeah.
Nice work. But
Oh, did you win? No?
No, just phase 2.
How the fuck did I get 400% zoomed in?
I don't know.
nice. But what's it called? It's funny though, because Rise of Ronin, I actually had to change the game to easy mode because I was dying too much to certain bosses and fights.
Ow.
And I just wanted to beat the game. There's no. It's one of those where the difficulty doesn't impact rewards or like. Thing.
Damn it. Okay.
Rise of Ronin's really weird though. It's like the game feels like it initially is like this supposed to be like realistic on some level, like action game.
Yeah.
But then it eventually starts going fucking weird. Like there's a character who has a jetpack, like a boss.
The fuck?
Okay.
And you eventually unlock a fighting style which is Aiaido, you know, the quick draw stance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And one
jutsu.
of your abilities is to do like a sword wave. Like it, because you know, Neo is very much not realistic samurai action. And to be fair, Ninja Gaiden is also not realistic ninja action. So it's fair.
Yeah.
But I will say, there are times where I was very much like, oh yeah, I forgot this game is supposed to be a bit silly and campy at times. Because Rise of Ronin especially is like, leans into the ninja aspect of the game, in that you're doing like stealth kills. But you do also have bosses that are very silly a lot of the time in some of the things they do.
Okay.
But again, I also don't mind that. Because like one of the elite enemies you encounter, because you know, it's a game during the time where the Japanese were beginning to be occupied, so you do fight some British soldiers as well.
Yeah.
One of the elite enemies is this like huge-chested man, like really muscular dude, and he has like a fucking woodcutter axe. And he like throws the axe at you, and he fights like a fucking serial killer, like Jason Voorhees-esque, like that kind of aesthetic,
Yeah.
and it's very silly.
Well, I've just bought it. I've also got Dino Blade at the same time, so
Well,
you know.
I'm really glad I convinced you to.
Like I said, I especially that period of history is like, because I did a fucking module at university about, certainly partly about that period, and I did a fucking 5,000 word essay about that period of history, so it's very much
is-
one of my interests.
It is really funny though, because the Shinsengumi are very much like. You could put most of the Shinsengumi in a boy band, like Japanese visual kei boy band outfits. and They
Okay.
would not like.
Not look out of place.
Yeah, like.
Hell yeah. Phase 2, motherfuckers. Let's go.
What's his name? Because he's in fucking Way of the Samurai, and I remember TFS using the. Oh yeah, I'm Hijikata of the Shinsengumi.
Yeah.
Oh, Hijikata.
Like this is the Hijikata from Rise of Ronin. To be fair, this iteration of him actually looks less boy band, and more boys love.
Now I can definitely see what you mean about seeing him in a visual K band.
It's more what's his name now? Fucking Okita is more like
Okita Soji, yeah.
So-
Yeah,
so
Okita
it's
is
really
like the
funny.
classic pretty boy.
If you are in because the pro Shogunate faction ends up having you ally with the Shinsengumi, which is also partly why I like him, because I think the Shinsengumi
Yeah.
just look cooler.
Yeah.
But like, so it's really funny. All of the male characters are a lot more developed than the female characters for the most part as well. But it very
Shocker.
much feels like you are playing an otome game in terms of like having all of these attractive men of various appearances. Like that's
Yeah.
Soji Okita.
Yeah.
And then you've got like, I feel like I posted what Ryo Sakamoto looks like for,
Phase 3?
Yep.
but this is Ryoma Sakamoto.
Okay.
Also, I played the game in the English dub. But I believe they actually went out the way to get East Asian actors for the
Okay.
characters.
That's good.
Which I really respect.
Yeah.
Even though a lot of the actors aren't very, like, amazing.
Yeah.
Is there, like, a credits? Also, I will say, one thing I did like about Rise of Ronin, you can choose to be dripped out.
Okay.
Damn it!
You can actually get, like,
Yeah.
you can actually, like, fully outfit your character. You can even customize the player character really extensively.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure when I'll get to it because I've got I'm currently doing another Dragon Age Veilguard playthrough. I've been playing Red Dead Redemption on my PS3, which has been quite fun to be fair. Sort of forgot how much I enjoyed it. I might go on to play 2 on my PS4. I do have to, but I've never actually finished it.
Yes. The dub actors are actually East Asian.
Cool.
I'm looking at the IMDb page to see if, like, I recognize them in any roles.
Yeah.
I did not realize IMDb had pages for games.
Oh yeah. No, they've got pages for pretty much everything.
Huh, neat. Nope, put myself
I mean,
on that one.
I'm looking at the cast myself, and I'm seeing fucking, in terms of the female cast, the subcast, Yui Ishikawa, Ai Furu, Taki Takayasu, Katsuyuki Kanishi, Jun
So
Fukuyama,
It's really
Kenta
funny,
Miyake.
A lot of the secondary and tertiary characters in the dub are actually, like, pretty well-known actors.
Oh my god, Hijikata's voiced by Yuji Nakamura.
Yeah.
Unfucking surprising. God damn it.
But yeah, it's really funny because, like, for tertiary characters, you've got, like, Caleb Yen, who's a pretty good voice actor. You've got, like, Crystal Lee. Zenfi Hune is who's the last party member in Persona 5?
Haru?
Base or Royal?
Yeah, Haru.
Haru,
Yeah.
okay.
Zanfi Hume's Haru. Like, she's probably the most high-profile actor in that game for the dub.
Brent Mukai is in there. Greg Chun.
Greg Chun. Greg
Yeah.
Chun's probably the most high-profile one, though. But even, again, though, I do like, though, that they went out the way to get, like, East Asian actors.
Yeah. Corey Yee is there.
And you've got, where was he then? I saw him just a moment ago. I mean, you've got Risa May. She's a pretty good actress because she's been in a lot of, like, the Hoyoverse games. I believe Daisuke Tsuji's been.
Crystal Lee, I recognize. She's been in a few anime that I've heard. Yeah, I can't say I recognize the actors for for more of the big characters. 100 Grace, actually, I might recognize 100 Grace. I'm trying to.
Damn it.
I feel like I've seen his name.
I feel like Brent Mukai has been in a few things as well.
Brent
I think
Mukai's
he's
definitely been in a few things. Yeah.
He's Yoko from Demon Slayer.
Yeah. No, Brent Mukai definitely shows up in quite a few places.
Oh, he's Kaiju number 10 and Kaiju number 8. But yeah, like I said, it's really
Oh,
funny
he's
'cause,
Forgoth
like,
in Veilguard. Cool.
I think Rise of Ronin is a very 7 out of 10 game. Also, I wouldn't say it's anywhere near like a 9, but I did
Okay.
thoroughly enjoy it.
Hmm.
Like I would spend fucking hours. Like it would often be the next day. Like it would be after midnight sometimes when I'd be playing it. Because the game does a really good job of being like, oh, here are all of the like. Once you've done enough progression, like here's the collectibles in this area.
I have just seen that it's 150 gigs.
Holy shit.
Is it?
Also, phase
That's
2.
what I'm seeing.
Oh yeah, so it is.
So I may have to wait until I go back to say Baldur's Gate 3 and finish it,
Understandable.
and so I can uninstall it. I'm gonna be honest. I got stuck partway through Act 3 with Baldur's Gate.
What part?
I think it was just that there's a lot of like. Because I've been following this guide, and it just feels like a lot of busy work almost, and some of it just isn't very
It's-
fun.
A lot of it is unsatisfactory endings to like character arcs.
Yeah.
And for the most part, a lot of the content in Act 3 is completely optional. Like you can just, as soon as you get access to the actual city, you can just book it to Orin and go to.
Yeah.
No.
You would be missing out on experience and actually useful equipment.
Here's the thing. I'm pretty sure I've already fucking. In terms of XP, I'm pretty sure I'm max level.
Well, it's 12.
I'm pretty sure I'm max level because I'm also playing this on easy. So.
But yeah, I think I would say a lot of it is still interesting, especially because a lot of the equipment is very nice.
I mean,
But
I'm trying to remember. I think the last thing I did was the underwater prison,
Oh yeah,
which I
that's
did
good.
enjoy, to be fair. But I just sort of, I stopped that night, going, okay, well, you know, I think I've done pretty well there because I think I saved all but one person who got fucking swarmed in a corner.
See, it's really funny. I think I've always said I play with the uncapped party size mod. I still often would struggle in that area.
I mean, I did
Like,
have to.
It got to the point where I actually let party members die just
Yeah.
to make that area go by quicker.
Yeah. I mean,
'Cause,
I
like,
had
you
to.
just get so many scrolls of revivify.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I haven't used one yet, and
Like,
and push comes to shove, you can always go to Withers as well.
I think it's the. Oh no, it's the House of Grief. I think the House of Grief is probably the worst part of Act 3.
I
By
didn't
a-
mind that fight, to be fair.
See, even though I had an uncapped party size, I still felt like that fight was obnoxious.
Yeah, and again, part of this is that I was playing it on the easiest. I'm playing it on
Yeah, I was
certainly
playing it-
easy,
even
if
on
not.
on normal, it was awful. So I can't
Yeah.
imagine what harder difficulties were like.
Yeah, so you know, I've got that perspective. Yeah, I mean, for the underwater prison, I did have to actually go back and basically change my party composition because I think I brought in Minsk and Astarion. And Lays Hill, I think, actually, yeah.
I remember you telling me because Nine Fingers died on you, didn't she? When you were helping.
Yeah,
her?
well, that was obviously a different one. That was the fucking.
But that was still Act 3.
That was still Act 3. I was still very annoyed about that. I was fucking hated the artist house.
See, I've only ever done that once. Every subsequent playthrough, I never do it. That's actually the only thing in Act 3 I always skip.
I genuinely wish I just hadn't done it because it was just not fun. It was just so awful.
It's really funny. Did you ever deal with the serial killer?
I think so.
Because I dealt with him at the wine party.
Yeah.
Because what I did was I had all of my party members stand around the area.
Right.
So I on my own went up to talk to the guy.
Yeah.
To then make sure my party could just fucking swarm in.
No, he got away there, and then I think I dealt with him in the clothes shop.
Yeah, it's always the clothes shop. If it's not there, it's always the clothes shop.
Yeah.
Because by that point, the fight is basically impossible to not happen.
Yeah. Yeah, that was okay. I remembered what was also pissing me off about Act 3 is that there are so many of these fucking enemies who go invisible, and you can't find them until they hit you.
Yeah, it's really obnoxious.
Despite the fact that I have fucking the see invisibility eye,
I'll be honest.
and it just doesn't work.
I think it's why I actually think Paladin is the best class in that game to play as. Because if you just have, oh no, you can't do. Oh no, you can get Spirit Guardians as a Paladin. They eventually let you get it, but like, but yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I really hated that. Because again, even with uncapped party size, fights like that are really fucking obnoxious still.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I fucking... Because I remember the reason why I got reminded was the clothes shop is obviously right by the park where you get ambushed. And that fight was just such a pain in the ass to do. Because they just kept fucking going invisible.
Yeah. It is really bad.
The fight in the vault was also annoying for that reason.
Yeah. The vault actually takes so much time for me to deal with. It's just, I don't think it helps so that, again, unfortunately, you can clearly tell the point of the game where they were like very much rushing to get the game out.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, but there's no excuse for them to like have made so many of those. A lot of the stuff that happens in that very unsatisfactory. It's like what's his name now? The blacksmith who tries to help Carl out.
Oh, I know who you mean. I can't remember his name either, but I know who you mean.
His art just ends.
Yeah.
Halcyon doesn't really get an ending.
Halcyon was the one who got kidnapped. Halcyon was the one who got kidnapped by Orin for me, and I'm just like, okay, cool. He doesn't do anything.
So, it's really funny. So it's Halcyon, Minfara, Gale, and I think Laser are the only four that can get kidnapped.
Yeah.
If you have an uncapped party like me, it's the child.
Yeah.
Which is very funny, because I always turn her away. I always turn her away initially. Yeah, like, but yeah, the blacksmith Carla doesn't really go anywhere. Apparently, according to files, when the upper city was still a potentially explorable area, you're going to be able to fix her heart in the upper city.
Yeah.
And they just never did anything with that. They just were like, no, we won't do it. Damon, that's his name.
Damon, yes, Damon.
It's because I was getting confused with Mammon. So yeah, Jaheira gets a nice little bit with her family.
Yeah.
But she doesn't really have a character arc, which is fine because she's a fully developed person. Because this is her third game appearance.
Yeah.
But did you ever deal with? Did you ever meet Saravar?
The name isn't ringing a bell.
He's an optional fight. He's part of the serial killer storyline.
Then I might have.
But he was a character in the previous two Baldur's Gate games, and everyone kind of agrees that he became ruined because he was one of the most compelling characters in the series, and they just ruined him.
That's unfortunate.
Like, I would explain why, but if you choose to continue playing the game again, it would be spoilers. Yeah, Minfara doesn't have a story. Her story's basically tacked on to fighting Orin. Did you ever fight her?
Orin. No, I haven't gotten
Yeah.
to Orin yet.
But yeah, her story's basically tacked onto Orin.
I
Which, by
don't
the
think
way-
I've gone to Saravok yet.
Right,
So he's not. His design isn't ringing a bell.
fair. But
You know, for a second I thought you said Saruman, and I was like, yes, I'm familiar with the Lord of the Rings character.
like it's very unfortunate because like even Astarian's story kind of just. I mean, I'll be honest. The main characters of Baldur's Gate 3 are Shadowheart, Lae'zel, and I would say Gale. In
Yeah.
terms of like actual narrative relevance to the plot, like, well, because even Will like gets shafted really badly.
I mean, Will absolutely get shafted really badly. I agree with Shadowheart because her quest actually has an interesting end. You know, with a big choice to make.
But I think the problem is though with Will is that his character's black. If his character wasn't black, I think he would get more content that would have been made for him, and I actually think his story would have been better.
Probably.
He's also the least popular character, and I believe the least romanced party member of like the main 6.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunately unsurprising.
Also doesn't help that unfortunately he had one of the bigger changes in the beta in terms of his character. Because he had a completely new actor, and he also had his backstory changed quite a bit.
Just wasn't in the beta, wasn't he just based around
He
killing
loses
goblins?
Yeah, he loses his eye to a goblin.
And then they
that
basically
goblin's
just went.
still in the game.
Yeah. But then they just sort of went, oh wait, goblins aren't really a thing after Act 1. Oh shit.
But it's crazy because like I like Astarion, but his fan base and the way he's been given more content and stuff is actually really
Sucks,
soured
yeah.
on him.
Yeah, no, same.
Like-
Same.
Like I think every other character is way more not likable, but I have less sour feelings to every other character, and I actually really adore Will. Because like I like.
No, I really like Will. Will is in like my main party when I do stuff.
like
Because I like having him around. I think he's
like,
an
for-
interesting sort of.
Like I feel like Will would fit right in with the party, like our party, the campaign.
Yeah, no, I think he
hero.
absolutely would.
Like he would fit in the most, because like he's a classical hero. Like he would get on with Aldane, he'd get on with like Felix. I feel like because Will has some whimsy and stuff.
Yeah.
Felix also
Sorry, I'm
has-
trying to lock in right now. I can't participate.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it, dude. You
know,
do
like-
your thing.
Like Will would want to help Dairon. Will would
Yeah.
get on with Rua. Will would get on with like Akrua. Like Akrua would probably.
Fuck!
Will would probably raise some of the stories of Akrua's tales.
Yeah.
But like, and I think he's a really interesting character because he's a warlock who is a heroic character. It's just a shame
I think
that, like,
yeah.
everything in the game conspires to like, because every part of Will's character arc can be done without him being present. He doesn't
No,
need to
and
be the walking dressed. He doesn't need to be there when you talk to the characters that are relevant to him in Acts 2. He doesn't even have to be there to save his dad.
Yeah.
And you know what's really bad? Astarion has to be present to every part of his character arc.
Yeah.
I feel like that is a
Sorry.
glaring oversight to not make that the case for everybody.
Like, if Astarion's physically not present, you are, I believe, locked out of parts of his entire character quest.
I mean, I know that I missed the chance for Raphael to tell me about the scars on Astarion's back because I just didn't
Yeah.
have Astarion in the party at that point.
But why should you have to when no other character in the game requires him
Yeah.
to be physically present? Because even
Yeah.
like Lae'zel inserts herself into moments even if she's physically not there.
Exactly.
Like, a lot. Also, she actually gets pissed off if you don't include her into stuff that's relevant to her. I
Yeah.
think she gets. I think she gets locked out of part of her character development if you deal with the Cretch while she's physically not there.
Yeah.
But like, you also would understand and know that she should be there. So why wouldn't you bring her? Like you're
Yeah.
actively refusing to include her if you're not bringing her for that segment anyway. You know?
Yeah.
Like, but again, that's kind of the problem with Baldur's Gate. It's really picky and choosy with like how relevant characters are.
Mhm.
Because did you ever do Astarion Symphony of Cazador?
I haven't done it yet. It's still there to do. And I've seen a bit of stuff about it since I stopped playing, and I'm just like kind of not looking forward to it.
It sounds like a rough time, honestly, from what I've heard of it.
I'll be honest, the loot you get from that part of the game is really crap. I feel like if you do it too late into Act 3, the only value that any of that has is because you like Astarion's character, and because
Yeah.
you're selling the equipment you get for gold.
Mhm.
Which again is fine. You're obviously going to have some pieces of gear that just might not mesh well.
Yeah.
But I feel like 9 times out of 10, a lot of the gear you get from the Cazador stuff is useless.
Yeah.
Why did I do that?
But again, if you love Astarion, it doesn't matter because you're doing it for his character.
But yeah, I like the idea of Astarion, but yeah, like,
I mean, him and Karlach are the least plot relevant characters to the game, which is fine. You're gonna have characters who are less relevant than others to story elements, but Karlach and Astarion especially do not need to exist. Like even Karlach's stuff with Gortash is such a like
yeah,
secondary element to even Gortash. You know, for Gortash, dealing with Karlach was Tuesday.
yeah,
To be fair, I'm also hot take. I actually really don't like Callison. I like him as a character, but he shouldn't have been a party member.
no, he shouldn't have.
Again, I think it's a problem with the game catering to the fans way too much.
Yeah,
I think it's really crazy that, but there's no bard, sorcerer. Really,
monk.
if you're actually playing the game, paladin either, and there's no monk that you can recruit naturally.
yeah.
Aren't there two paladin party members that you can recruit, or am I misremembering?
No, it's just that. So if you do an evil playthrough, you can get Minthara, or if you choose to knock out Minthara, in the only time in the game where knocking out a character is relevant.
I would say one of two.
What's the other one?
Minsk.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I forgot about that actually, because I am also
Yeah.
always like,
That is the one time I've turned on non-lethal.
yeah. So it's
Because I forgot to do it with Minthara.
yeah, it's those 2 times. But those are the only times we're knocking anyone out.
Yeah.
for them. And honestly, Minsk is a lot more important, kind of, than Minthara, because you lose Jaheira if you don't knock him out.
I put it this way. As I said, I completely forgot to. I just straight up
But
murked Minthara without
But it's-
thinking,
and
and
it's
I've not
changed,
like
and
been like, okay, cool,
I
fine.
love Minthara. But unfortunately, Larian hates Minthara because they got rid of a lot of what would have been interesting stuff for her.
Yeah,
Because part of the character story was originally going to be is that you would have the option to have a child with her.
right.
Like she would basically become pregnant during the stages of Act 3. And I love the idea that it could have been a really nice idea to give a humanizing element to an otherwise like evil character.
Yeah,
And it also didn't help that there was a really bad bug where if you played a Dark Urge character, and depending on how you ended the quest line with the Dark Urge, she would just break up with you.
yeah.
And that was a bug. And they had to fix that in a patch because that wasn't originally a problem in the playthrough. It's just, I don't know. I like Baldur's
Yeah.
Gate 3, but it's really unfortunate that the things I like the most are often the things that the game itself does not cater to.
Mm.
Because, like, I like Lae'zel, and I will say that I think Lae'zel would be the main character. I think if the game hadn't, if it weren't the Dark Urge,
Haha, yeah! Oh, shit.
nice work.
Not done
Yeah,
yet.
I think like Lae'zel, I think has the most relevance to the story,
Yeah.
and she also gets exclusive gift Yankee gear that no one else gets.
Yeah.
And I like that, but I feel like it's very unfortunate though that in comparison, Will, who should be a lot more relevant to the game,
Absolutely.
just isn't.
Yeah.
Like I find it
Hahaha, yes!
nice work.
Congrats.
Only
It
took an hour
you-
and 40 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, hour and 40 minutes and 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 29 previous attempts.
Honestly,
Yeah.
it took a lot more
Certainly-
the first time
I
around.
could have came twice in that many strokes.
And that's not counting the ones that before I was counting.
Yeah, it's probably close to like 36 or something.
Oh, that would be
35-ish.
4 times then for me. I mean, what? But yeah, it's just like I don't know. It's just a shame with Baldur's Gate.
No,
Yeah,
I,
look at my little guy. He's all wingy and strong now.
Cute.
But yeah, kind of Veilguard fan. I totally get it. I mean, at least Veilguard had an excuse for why stuff was limited.
It's yeah. I mean, for what it's worth, anyway, I'm probably never buying a Larian game. The only time I'll ever play Divinity Original Sin 2 is if someone gifts it me. I'm not
Yeah.
buying it. I don't want to fund a company that's using generative AI.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes, that old chestnut.
So yeah, you know.
Let's see if there's anything else I can do before the final boss.
But yeah, like I'll be honest nowadays. Like I was actually having the itch to play Baldur's Gate again, and then I remembered that I've started the game far too many times where like I'll just get bored as fuck. I think unless I do an evil playthrough, I probably won't touch that game again unless I play multiplayer with people. Because yeah, there's only so many times I can play that game and not get bored to fucking tears. Like, there's
No,
only so many
I
times
get it.
can there's only so many times I can save the tieflings. To be fair, I've done like I've been doing the last playthrough I did. I actually killed Karga. I was like, fuck it, I want to fight her. She's a terrible person anyway. And every playthrough now, I actually make the deal with Antietal. Did you do that?
No.
Did you get?
Wait.
In Act
Yes.
1?
No. I did. I did do that. I did do that. Yes. 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 Because I got the hair.
You got the stat. Yeah, I do that.
Yeah. It was fine. I just killed her again. I just killed her in Act 3.
I will say, I actually have to mute that fight because what's her name infuriates me. I've never been so willing to actually kill a character, like a person I'm supposed to save in that game.
Yeah.
She's. I don't get why. I don't get why they just didn't turn off her audio in combat.
Yeah.
Come out, Jack. We're not gonna hurt you.
So you say.
We're not gonna jump your ass. But yeah, just God. Like it's really funny that Alfira became a temporary party member. If you play
Yeah.
Dark Urge. And it's really dumb because it's like, why isn't she just playable anyway? Because she's an actually likable character.
Not to mention a bard.
Yeah. God, it's so fucking crazy that, like... I mean, to be fair, if you're playing Canon Dark Urge, you're playing a sorcerer anyway. But, yeah, it's just... Actually, that's the only kind of playthrough I would do. I'd do a playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3 where I respec everyone into a different class.
Yeah.
Like, I'd make Zella cleric, because it'd be really funny.
Make Gale a monk or a fighter.
I'd make Gale the barbarian.
There. No, you've got me there.
Astarion would probably be a paladin, because I think it'd be really funny to make him a paladin. Karlak could be the wizard.
Yeah.
Shadowheart. Warlock?
Maybe druid.
Will. I don't really know what I do for them.
Well, int isn't really make him a rogue.
I'd want to see. I was thinking of doing like, what's it called? Like, I'd probably do Halzen as a rogue. Because I love the idea that the beefcake is like actually just a lockpicker.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or I'd probably make that the room where I actually just play as Will.
Yeah.
So then I don't even have to care. Then I'd be completely fine.
One other thing I think that Baldur's Gate 3 kind of missed an opportunity to do is like have a more varied cast of like races in the game.
The
Because
problem
like
is the particular part of Dungeons and Dragons that Baldur's Gate is set in is very much mostly only occupied by the general 5th edition, like, player's handbook races.
well, it's not even that because like the majority of playable characters are either humans or elves, or part human or part elf. Because the only ones who aren't, I believe, are Lae'zel and Karlak. Yeah.
Yeah. But again, that's unfortunately, like, what would be the majority anyway, even in that setting, is like, you would mostly see them.
Again, I get it, but like, some variety would be nice.
I do think there should have been more variety, but I think the problem is that, like, player's handbook races by very nature are mostly just very boring. Like, I think they could have made an effort to do a Dragonborn, but again, if you're playing Canon Dark Urge, which is, I feel like, the most story-rich character to play as, Canon Dark Urge is a Dragonborn, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they were thinking of.
Where are
I
the
think it's
dwarves?
crazy.
I was gonna say a dwarf or a halfling would be good.
I'll be honest, I think the reason why they didn't do that is because they're not as attractive to players.
Yeah.
I think they wanted to do the most fuckable characters in the game, and that's why there's no Dragonborn party members, and it's why there's no Half-Orc party members. It's why Will is the least popular character, unfortunately, because he's black. It's why Lae'zel isn't that popular, because she isn't conventionally attractive.
Yeah.
It's why Shadowheart is the most romanced female character in the game. And it's why Astarion's the most romanced male, because unfortunately, it basically got co-opted by a lot of people who've never played Dungeons and Dragons or even played a Baldur's Gate game before.
Yeah.
And so the lowest common denominator kind of got drew to
out.
those
Yeah.
characters immediately. Because I'd even argue the thing with Karlach is that, like, yes, she has a lot of scarring on her body, but for the most part, you don't see it.
Also, like, big buff hot lady. Literally
like,
hot.
She appeals to a lot of the performative people who like that, but not like the actual. How would I describe it? I don't think it's performative to like muscle women. I think Karlach fills a sort of role that a lot of people who are performatively into that like. However,
Yeah.
I think they went out of the way to not make Karlach as like buff as they could have, if you get what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not saying bodybuilder-esque, but I feel like, I don't know. I hope my point is coming across.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because again, I think it's why, like, Lae'zel is the least popular female, and it's why, like, because, she has features that aren't necessarily as attractive as Shadowheart and Karlach are.
I mean, I think it also might play a part in why Minthara is fairly popular, because she is fairly
She's
attractive.
not really.
Really?
Because Minthara, well, this is a similar problem with Lae'zel. Minthara's not pleasant to interact with, really.
Right, I forgot she's an evil asshole.
Because Minthara is like, I think Minthara is the funniest character in the game, because she's the comedic sociopathy character.
Yeah.
It's just that if Minthara was a man, I think she'd be a lot more popular.
Yeah.
Because that's why Astarian's popular, because he's an attractive man.
And also an asshole.
If Astarian was a woman, I don't think he'd be as popular.
I mean, that's the thing. Isn't Astarion only really an asshole in, like, Act 1 and part of Act 2?
Yeah.
Like, he actually starts to sort of cool
Well,
down, I guess, a bit as the game goes on.
I'd argue a lot of it is because he's a lot less relevant in Act 3.
Yeah.
Like, the only time Astarian's relevant in Act 3 is when you're actually doing...
Is the Cazador stuff, yeah.
Yeah. And that's arguably, like, when he's pushed the most as a character. And by that point, the players would have become endeared to him if they already like him.
Yeah. Which,
Whereas,
hey,
like-
I think he's fine. But, at the end of the day, my character is a rogue, and I don't want two rogues in my party, so I just don't use him very often, unless he's got story stuff.
If I was going to play a game with only 4 party members, I probably would pick Rogue. Or I'd probably pick Ranger, so I have more skills, and then get Criminal to get Thieves' Tool proficiency.
I mean, yeah, I based my character on, in Baldur's Gate, on the character I'm playing in my other campaign, who does have really good sleight of hand, because she's a swashbuckler rogue, and I thought, that's a, sleight of hand would be quite good for a sort of duelist type thing, but she's not a lockpicker in the actual game that I play, but here it's just like, well, I've got to use her that way, because otherwise I'm not unlocking anything.
It's practice for when she's alone with a woman.
Because I'm a disaster, she's a disaster in that area.
I see. But yeah, like it's really funny because Gale's a really funny character to me in that subsequent playthroughs have actually made me like him less because I've realized how selfish he is.
Yeah.
And that he is actually he really does not like being called out on his mistakes. Which I think is compelling and interesting. But at the same time, I also like playing the characters who don't tolerate his bullshit.
Yeah.
You want to see me do something else that'll get me killed?
Go for it.
Trial of the Fool, the most annoying fucking trial in this game.
Going back to romance stuff, I found the one they did for Veilguard, and again, it's very much the same. It's the the conventionally attractive male character and the conventionally attractive female character who are up front, and then the hot buff character, and then you start getting into the
Remo-
less conventionally attractive characters.
So, please tell us the ranking, the overall ranking.
I mean, this
Isn't it
was
Nev-
this.
Isn't it Nev? and
Yeah,
then
I mean, this was based on two months after the game came out, so it could be very well be different now, 2 years
for
on.
sure.
But Nev
I
was
doubt it.
first, Lucana second, Tarsh third, Harding fourth, Balara fifth, Davrin sixth, and Emmerich seventh.
Of course, the Dilf was last.
Yeah, and yet when coming up to the release of the game and afterwards, all I saw on fucking Twitter were people thirsting over Emmerich.
Vocal minority, I guess.
It's unfortunately because Twitter's a microcosm of the internet,
Yeah.
and I won't be surprised if your circle was just because I saw a lot of people who thirsted over him as well.
Might be just fake fans, though.
But like, I think the thing is though is that Veilguard got picked up by a lot of people. So that was like a whole thing, and also a lot of. I know a lot of people who. Well, it's funny. The two gay men who I know who played Veilguard, romance mechanics,
Yeah.
which is very funny. But I also know a lot of the cis men who played the gay romance Nev. But I think it's always going to be the thing in a game with multiple romances. The most conventionally attractive and appealing characters are going to be the ones that are romanced the most.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's just how it is always going to be. It's just very unfortunate that when you make a character who is black, it's the case with them. Anything like that, they are usually the least popular to be picked from. East Asian is different because a lot of people sexualize East
Fetishize
Asian.
it, yeah.
Yeah, fetishize it.
Oof.
Which is why I'm not surprised Bellara is higher than a lot of the other cast in
Mm-hmm.
Veilguard.
To be
Like,
fair,
I-
she's
I-
only fifth. She's second from the bottom.
I thought she was third from the bottom.
Oh yeah, well,
Yeah.
Or,
Yes. Yeah. Third from. She's fifth out of seventh.
yeah.
fair. I actually.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, Harding, I'm sure got a boost from being in Inquisition,
Oh, she's absolutely getting
Um,
that legacy boost for sure.
and otherwise would not be as high, being a dwarf.
Have you considered, though, Mill, that she's a conventionally attractive dwarf? Because let's be honest, like a classic beard, super hairy dwarf would not be as popular as Harding.
I mean,
Probably
I
not
think
now.
a lot of it. I think a lot of it is just that, redhead woman. I actually think, I don't know, but I will say, I think if Davrin or Will were not black, unfortunately, they would be more popular.
Yeah.
As
No,
romances.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
Because that, I'll be honest, is unfortunately a lot of people who play those games who are just racist.
Correct.
To be fair, that also doesn't account for the fact that some people might be genuinely more attracted to the other romance options. I'm not saying people who don't like those characters are racist, It's just that I also do know that is a not so insignificant factor. But again, there's not much you can really do about that, I feel like.
Ah, fuck these
Yeah,
guys.
unless you
With-
make your own game.
Because like with Baldur's Gate, you know, tieflings are pretty fetishized, honestly. And it doesn't help that, like, a lot of people pick tiefling as a race in Dungeons and Dragons. Like, a lot
Yeah.
of people love them.
For
And
good
that's
reason,
fine.
to be fair.
I mean, a lot of people do it because they like being able to make, like, oh, I can be a sexy devil character. You know, I know they're very popular with the LGBTQ. And that's fine. I'm not, that isn't me trying to make a statement about anything, it's just an observation. But, you know, again, it's why I think, say, if Althea from Baldur's Gate 3 was a party member, I think she would probably be tied with Karlach or competing with Karlach for second most popular female romance option.
Yeah.
Oh, almost certainly.
Like, Minthara has the problem of she is extremely optional. And most players didn't have access to get her when they started the game, because most people weren't
Yeah.
reading the playthrough for the first time.
Fuck. Ow. Fucking hate spikes.
Me when I hate James Marsters' character in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I knew you were going to do that. Honestly, though, Spike is not the worst character in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I mean, I'll be honest, ever since hearing about a lot of the stuff with Joss Whedon and how Buffy, the set of Buffy was, it's kind of soured my feelings on the series.
That's fair and understandable. I watched the series well before any of that came out.
I mean, I did. But, I don't know. I also kind of, I don't know. I'm looking at my games now, like which ones have romance options and like seeing if other not patterns but like
I mean, I don't know, because Cyberpunk has some romance options, doesn't it?
It does.
I mean it's for the most part the two women, the straight male option and the lesbian option that I think are the most popular.
Yeah.
Because, to be fair, anyway, like, they're specifically tied to specific gender identities and sexual orientations.
Yeah.
So, you don't really have a choice. I think they later changed the character to be bisexual, but even then, to my knowledge, the two male romance options aren't as popular as the female ones.
Yeah.
Because also more people are going to make porn of the female characters.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course.
So, yeah. And to my knowledge, their romances are actually intertwined with the plot of the game, whereas the two male romance options are actually very optional. Like, they don't even have endings with you. Like, you don't have an ending where they actually are relevant to the ending.
Yeah.
Oh. This is a marathon level. Fuck, I forgot. Okay. Oh, fuck, I hate this part.
Again, though, like, Cyberpunk's weird, because it'd be different if there was more variance in the options, and if, like, everyone was bi, you know, like that
Yeah.
kind of deal. I'll be
In
honest.
that sense, I would be interested in seeing the romance data for something like Dragon Age 2.
I don't know if they have that actually.
No, I think it was before the series really started doing that. But I would be interested to see it if it existed in any shape.
Fuck you, mosquito asshole. Oh, I'm gonna die here for sure.
The reason you can't touch the ground?
It spikes.
Spikes.
Ah. And
Nope.
you can't
So,
heal
someone
while
on-
wall.
And that's what the Trial of Fools looks like.
So someone did a survey of romances in Dragon Age games. This was done a couple of years ago. So basically, this one of the surveys was select the characters you romance at least once through all the games, with Alistair being number one at 1,500 and change.
Unsurprising.
Fenris is 1,400 and change,
Huh.
and then Zevran is third,
Yeah.
with Tash being at the very bottom. But there is also recency in regards to that, so
Mm-hmm. I do wonder what the demographics of the polling were.
yeah. I mean, it's not an official poll, so it's not as if you're getting like the actual player base.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised though if Anders was number one, and then Fenris was like number two.
You mean Alistair
Yeah.
number one?
Anyway.
I mean, for 2, I assume.
Oh, for 2, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
Like,
Like, I think that the women are more split as well. Like, more evenly split between the two.
I will be honest. I would not be surprised if Meryl was the most popular female to romance.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't surprise me either.
She, I think, has the easiest to like personality for the average player versus Isabella, who I would be surprised if the how liberally sexual she is, and that kind of part of her character would have put people off.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I could easily see Meryl being the more popular. Also, there's only two females to romance in Dragon Age.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I was just trying to think of
Like,
it if there was another one.
I'll be very honest. So the trilogy of Dragon Age games, I'll be honest, are actually quite bad for variety in ways. Like, I think it was fine in 1, sorry. I actually think 2's really weird. Maybe this sounds bad. I do not like romances where everyone can be romanced by anyone. Just because I feel like the writing for the romances is less interesting as a result. Because I think there's more in, like, for example, I don't think Morrigan's romance would have been as, I think it could have worked, but I think Morrigan's romance was specific because she was only attracted to a male Grey Warden.
Yeah.
But I think Liliana and Zevran work better because they can be romanced by both genders.
Yeah.
You know, I think Dragon Age 2 is a bit different because, like, 2 is a very dysfunctional group. So I think it has more interesting implications for the story that people are a lot more sexually, like, open. Which is why I think it's very funny that the least popular party member in 2 is the straight guy.
Is this the cis white het male?
Yeah.
Yeah, the straight white man.
But by comparison, I think, I think it's very interesting that Inquisition has party members that are only specifically romanced by certain people. I will say though, as a straight man who wanted to have a straight romance,
Your options are very
options-
limited, yeah.
it is literally one of the worst characters in the game to romance. Cassandra.
I like Cassandra and her romance. I don't think her romance is bad.
Awful.
I
For me,
don't agree.
Because the romance is so. If you play the game in the intended order, her romance is the last one to access. So you've got less opportunities to kind of enjoy that romance. And I would also argue the romance isn't anywhere near as interestingly developed as the other characters. Because to me, her relationship with the Inquisitor is also the least interesting. I think, like, Blackwall, for example, you know, you have the entire aspect of his real identity. And I think his romance is actually quite sweet. Like, in a cute way. You know, if you know, Bull is great because you can play him as any race and any sexuality. And that's it actually informs his character. Like, and you know, there's the whole interesting stuff about the actual, you know, it goes into really interesting dynamics of stuff like the bedroom.
Yeah.
You know, as controversial as Sarah is, I think her romance conceptually is very interesting.
I do feel like they could have done a lot to make things a little bit, give a little bit more options just for people who wanted to honestly, there are only 3 female romance options compared to, like, I think 5 or 6 male romance options is part of the issue. Because you've got Bull, you've got Dorian, you've got Blackwall, you've got Solus, and you've got Cullen.
Fuck, I forgot about Cullen.
Yeah.
Oh, you've got Josephine as well.
Yeah.
Josephine as well.
Yeah, you have
I
three women you
I
can
forgot
romance, and you
I
have...
forgot she existed.
Yeah. But it's not very balanced. And it especially favors you if you're playing as a female elf, because you can romance literally the majority of... Yeah. The only ones you can't romance are Cassandra and Dorian. And that is it.
Technically, while you can romance Sarah,
She
it
is a
has the
bit of an
biggest
asshole
hurdle
about
of the
it.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, that's what I was saying though. I actually kind of like that wrinkle to the relationship.
Oh yeah, no, she has different reactions depending on what your character's race is. She has
Well,
very telling reactions to you playing as a Kunari or a dwarf, for example.
But yeah, and I think like, you know, I think the romances in Inquisition conceptually are interesting. I like that Dorian is just a gay romance option.
Yeah.
You know, Sarah is just a lesbian romance option.
I just wish that was a
And
little
then
bit more
you've got-
balanced.
And then you've
I
got
just don't-
Solus, who's only female elves.
I will
Which
say,
makes
though,
sense, but has led to, you know, the worst part of the fandom.
I will be honest though, I think the romance is actually one of the worst aspects of Inquisition. I think the characters are so uninterestingly romance options. And I think, unfortunately, that's a greater symptom of the romance is never an important aspect of the story. And therefore, what's even the point in including it? Like, it's literally there for people to, like... there's nothing wrong with it. I just think it actually... I do think, though, it takes away from the story.
Yeah.
Because unless you've romanced Solus, the romance for none of the characters actually matter. You know,
Which is
it's
kinda
why
crazy.
It's why I think Origins is the best with the romance, because the actual romances massively impact the story.
Especially Morgan and Alistair.
Yeah, if you only have Alistair as your Grey Warden, if you want to keep Morgan in the party, you have to have Alistair sleep with her.
Yeah.
You know, or if you're a male Grey Warden even if you're a Grey Warden who's gay, you're either having to have sex with Morrigan or you're having to encourage Alistair to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're playing as a female Grey Warden,
Your only options are Alistair and Loghain. If you want to
Yeah.
keep Morgan around.
but you also have to deal with the fact that, like, if you're romancing Alistair, you also lose him
Mm-hmm.
if you're not a human noble, which is awful in terms of like how it feels, but like, again, it's also just another interesting like story dynamic. Like it does actually matter. Like your choice of who you pick at the beginning actually impacts that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you romance Zevran, you know, Zevran is the least relevant romance option. But at the very least, again, you having a romance with him can potentially impact your decision with stuff like the Dark Ritual and all that kind of stuff. You know, if you're romancing Leliana, that's a romance you feel throughout the trilogy for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I do think we should
And
call it
again,
here because we've been going on for over 2 hours 15.
No, you're actually in my domain. Malevolent Yap Fest.
I was going to say domain expansion, infinite yapping, but yeah,
No,
that works
it's
too.
No, this is Malevolent.
Okay, well, we're calling it here because, yeah, we've gone over by a fair bit, and I don't really have much I can do in the game right now. That wouldn't take a while. So,
Alright, well, thank you everybody for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed. In terms of future stuff, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Saturdays and Sundays, please do give us a follow and a subscribe here on Twitch and all that YouTube stuff.
like, subscribe, comment down below, and please press that bell icon, yo.
And otherwise, hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
Later.
Bye.